We're here inside Hilltopper Creamery and we're visiting with Gary Bew. He's the expert cheesemaker here at the University Farm making cheese. Gary, thanks for having us today.
Thanks for being here.
Well, tell me a little bit. Let's start with, you've been making cheese for a while.
Yes, I have. I originally taught myself how to make cheese on the kitchen stove, which is about the hardest way to make cheese there is. My wife and I owned a dairy farm, and I'd always been interested in cheese. Thought maybe we could make more money with our milk by turning it into cheese. So I taught myself, and then we built a cheese making plant and went commercial with it, and did that for quite a few years. Semi-retired and moved to Kentucky.
Well, I know Western's really excited about having you here because they've been able to get the cheese making plant and the creamery open with some of your leadership. And so how long has it been open?
I went to work for WKU in January of 2017, last year, and we've been making cheese since April the 19th of 2017, so just barely over a year.
And I know people are raving about all the different flavors and combinations that is available through the creamery. But just kind of walk me through the process. Walk me through the cheese making process.
Okay, basically, the first thing we do is pick up milk from the WKU dairy and bring it over here to the creamery, put it in the cheese vat, and then the first step is to warm that milk up and pasteurize it to kill all unwanted bacteria if there are any in there. Then we cool it back down to 90 degrees. We add back some bacterial culture, but it's a good bacteria.
It's the kind we want, right?
The kind we want that gives cheese its flavor. So we put that in, wait for about an hour. Then we add what's called rennet. It's a coagulant for the milk. I use a vegetable type rennet rather than an animal rennet. And it goes in, it's a liquid, stirs into the milk, and then we stop stirring and it sits there for about 45 minutes. Then we use these big rectangular knives that have wires in them and pull that through this coagulated milk. It's about the consistency of soft custard.
Okay.
We pull those knives through it and cut it into little cubes. And as we do that, the whey comes out of the cheese curd.
We've always heard about the curds and whey,
Curds
right?
and
Ever
whey.
since nursery rhymes.
Yep, Little Miss Muffet. So now we have curds and whey. We start stirring that again very slowly and gently and warm the milk back up. What we're looking for is 101 degrees over a period of 30 minutes. So it's a slow increase. Once we have it there, we continue to stir it and hold it at that temperature. And the curds become more and more firm as more whey comes out of them. And this is where the science kind of goes away and the art starts in, because now people say, well, how do you know when to stop the cooking process, as it's called? And all I can say is when the curd feels right.
Now that is some science right there.
Real science there, isn't it?
But it is an art. You have a lot of experience with cheese making, and you probably can tell the consistency that you want.
Yeah, and my students learn that. At first, I'll say, okay, feel this curd, kind of squeeze it. It's not ready. See how soft it is. And we go on, and then finally I say, okay, now it's ready. Feel that. And the next time we make cheese, I can say, okay, feel that curd and tell me. They don't know.
It takes some experience.
It takes some time. Yeah. But by the end of a semester, almost everybody can say, this is ready. And that's when you know, it's great.
The artisan cheese
Yep.
part of it.
Yep.
Now, I think that's an interesting concept because students are able to come into the creamery and learn. There's a lot of science. Now, you made that really simple when you explained the cheese making, but there's a lot of science that goes into
There
that.
is.
And
There
so students are able to come in and learn that hands-on.
Yep, hands-on. The course I teach is 95% hands-on. We have very little classroom. And it's not all just in here making cheese. There are a lot of other things that happen here every other day of the week. We have to print labels, put them on the packaging bags. We have to cut 20-pound blocks of cheese into 8-ounce packages and put them in there and vacuum pack them. And we have to sell. We have all kinds of things. So they not only are learning the cheese making process, but the business involved.
And that's so important.
Yeah, and I try to teach them all, you know, everything, a little bit of everything we do.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of food safety, inspections, regulations. I'm sure there's some type of HACCP plan or something that goes along, and all those things are things that you're going to need to know if you go into the industry.
That's right.
And so, what a valuable classroom that is right here. So, where can people buy your cheese? You talked about selling. Where is it available?
It's available right here at the creamery. We have a retail store. We also have a website with an online store, and we can ship nationwide.
Very cool.
And we're at the Saturday market down by the Hot Rod Stadium.
Yeah, the Soki Marketplace.
Soki Marketplace, every Saturday, 8 to 1.
And they carry your cheese in their crop shop that's
Correct.
open on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoons
Yep.
too, right?
Yep, it's in the crop shop there, in the old church building. And Cheney's Dairy Barn has our cheese.
How fitting.
Yeah, and if you're going to events at WKU for one thing or another, you're very likely to see it there because Aramark Catering uses a lot of our cheese.
So what varieties of cheese do you guys make here to sell?
We actually have, I think, 13 different flavors and varieties. We make what's called fresh cheese curds.
Now tell me a little bit about that because you don't find that everywhere.
No, you don't. Real big in the Midwest, Wisconsin, Minnesota. They love them. It's unaged cheddar in little chunks. The day we make cheddar cheese, we cut some of it into chunks as fresh curds. We make 4 flavors of that. We have just plain untouched cheddar. Then we have a garlic and dill flavor, a Cajun spice, and what we call zesty Italian. It's Italian spices with some other things added. So we make those 4, and they're ready to be eaten the day we make it.
And how is that different from a regular cheese cube? It's fresh. Is it a different texture and
Totally
consistency?
different texture. A lot of people call it squeaky cheese because when it's that fresh, when you bite it, it squeaks on your teeth.
Now I'm gonna have to go try it out. We're gonna have to crack open a bag now.
It's not the same as aged cheddar. Aged cheddar becomes drier and sharper. It's a real mild flavor in the fresh curds.
And so do you age the cheddar here?
We age the cheddar. Yeah, we age all the cheese except the fresh curds. We have an aging room, and depending on the type of cheese, it needs to age between 1 and 3 months before it's ready to package.
So it's not a quick process.
It's not a quick process. And sharp cheddar ages for at least 6 months. Extra sharp is 10 to 12.
Wow.
So we make, besides the fresh curds, we make plain cheddar, mild and sharp. We make Colby cheese, We make caraway seed cheddar.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, caraway is what gives rye bread its flavor and aroma. So I tell people it tastes like a grilled cheese sandwich on rye.
Without the rye bread, you don't
Without
even
the bread. But we make cracked black pepper cheddar.
Well, now one of my favorites is the smoked cheddar.
Yeah, we smoke sharp cheddar and bacon cheddar. So we make bacon cheddar, obviously, and pepper jack, and Gouda, and I think
It's hard to
that's it.
keep up with them
It
all,
is.
isn't it? Now,
There's
which
a lot
one's
of
your
them.
favorite?
My favorite's pepper jack.
Pepper jack. Now, it is very flavorful. It's really good cheese.
It is. Has
And so,
jalapenos.
how do you sell? Does it come in
Basically 8-ounce blocks.
8-ounce blocks? Okay.
Yeah. From time to time, we make a few 1-pound blocks, but most people want 8-ounce,
Okay.
half-pound.
All right. And so, what's your favorite part of the day or the week? What's your favorite part of this whole process?
Well, overall is the teaching. I enjoy that the most. The rest of it is just paperwork and things that have to be done. But the teaching part is what I like the best.
Well, Gary, certainly appreciate you visiting with us today. We certainly want to go into the retail store. I'm going to try some squeaky cheese.
All right.
But I appreciate you visiting with us today and explaining this. What a gem we have right here in Bowling Green for the students, for the community, and something that's going to reach all across the United States through your
Yeah,
cheese.
I
So
think so.
appreciate you having us today.
Thank you.